What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Wadzpay today. Wadzpay, WTK. This one comes to us at the request of Mr. Unleavened Baptist. We're doing this one for you, my man. This is my third time talking about this, and I want to start it off the same way that I've started it off or talked about it every single time, which is that there's not a whole lot of historical data on this thing, okay? It's a very new chart, doesn't have a lot to go off of. TA only gets us so far, and there's not a lot of points of reference to make. So I'm going to do the best with what we have, but don't hold me, don't hate me if I get the wrong answer. Okay, I'm going to try to get the right answer. I do every time. I don't get the right answer every time. I try to, but I can be wrong. I've been wrong before. I will be wrong again. And on something like this, I would say that it's not necessarily the easiest thing. What you did get, looking at it, eyeballing it, you can see you rejected this previous area you found support on. Confirming previous support as resistance is not a good thing. To be completely fair, you do have like this ascending formation with a flat base here that is kind of bullish at the bottom. That is kind of bullish. But what to counter that, what's kind of bearish about it is that, here, let's see if I can get it. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe you are holding this. Maybe you're holding this formation right here, man. There's a certain degree where if you like take it like this, and you were to take it like that, it looks like you're rejecting this. It depends. This is why I hate diagonal lines, man. It's all in the perspective, because from this would be a bearish look. And you compare that up, if you look on the daily here, you're actually rejecting your 123 daily. You're right in your overbought zone. This could be a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, this could be a make it or break it point. If you can get into your overbought zone, that would be awesome. If you can get back up into here, that'd be awesome. That would kind of negate the idea that you've broken out of this range. Could be like a little fake out in itself. The reason why I don't know if you're going to do that, the reason why I do think you go down lower is because I think you have had a fake out, but to the upside, and it's more obvious on the weekly. You can see here, you came up, but you didn't continue further. You went higher, and that's a fake out, and then you went down, and you actually have a lower low and a lower high after that. This last high that you had a lower high, sure, but you had higher lows, and then you formed a higher high, but it was a fake out of a higher high. That's not encouraging. And to a certain degree, I mean, lines are not, I feel like it looks like you broke out of this structure, but, I mean, to be fair, this itself actually doesn't look half bad. So what I would say for Wadzpay, Wadzpay, I don't know what it is, man, but what I would say is you want to hold this, probably this white line here, this slanted line as support, which right now would be at 1.37 cents. Next week it would be at 1.37 cents, and the week after it'd be at like 1.42 cents. So somewhere around there, really on a weekly basis. If you can hold this weekly low close here as support, maybe you wick below it, that's okay, but if you cannot close below it, that would be very nice to see. It's so close to this. Obviously you wouldn't want to close below this one either, but I would think that if you were to have a week to close, again, you can wick below it, that's okay, but if you were to close below it on a weekly, below 1.45 cents, I would think that you are going to continue this downtrend downward. And where would you go if you were to go downward? Likely you would go to somewhere around the sweet spot, which is around the 618 to the 69 area. That is around 1 cent to 0.86 cents, $0.0086. So somewhere in that range, that wouldn't be encouraging to see, because that is a pretty big drop off from the current price. That would be a 44% drop to a 51% drop. But on the bright side, a drop down here would still be a higher low. You know, it still would be a higher low overall. You know, higher than this low, higher than that low, higher low in this kind of overall wonky ascending formation that you have, which isn't bad to see. But it would be even nicer if you could maintain this low and not go below this kind of line. And if you could maintain this, I didn't see this before, man, but I looked at this a little bit before I started making this video, but you do have a nice kind of structure here. Taking away this, maybe if you put it to the open, you can include this candle here. Do it to the open of this one too, maybe something like that. It does look kind of nice, but it depends on how you cut it, man. Because if you were to take it to these wicks here and put it at the wick on the bottom here, you're kind of rejecting this area. You know, it makes it look more like a breakout and a retest, which would be bearish. But hard to say. Definitely hard to say. On the weekly, your RSI, your short-term RSI, is getting to the 50, an area that you found support on before, you've rejected before. Could you reject it here and turn around? That wouldn't be good. It is possible. You definitely could do that. So keep going. That's really all I have to say, is keep going. And if you don't keep going, you want to hold higher lows at least in this range, which that daily close is right there at around 145. which is where this one is, and I say 145, it's 1.45 cents, right? So hold that area. That's definitely significant. Hold it as weekly closing support. Again, you can wick below it, but hold it as weekly closing support. And more importantly, most importantly, get above this high. If you can get above this high, man, if you can get above this high, this will look like a double bottom, and it'll look like you're continuing upwards into this kind of like flat top area, and I would expect that you break it, which would be nice. Now let's talk bullish stuff, okay? Because I've gone over the bearish stuff, I think. You don't want to break 145. That's the bearish thing. You can go down, probably you might go down from here. If you look at the daily, actually, you are right at overbought zones. You could reject it. On the 4 hour, you have bearish divergence, lower highs with higher highs, but it's not confirmed yet. If you keep having green candles, this can negate. You know, it does. This RSI does look kind of strong on the 4 hour. You're in a nice uptrend in your 4 hour RSI, but that can change. That can definitely change. But talking bullish stuff, if you do break out of this, where would I expect you to go? And by breaking out of this, I mean breaking out of this, yeah, weekly closing high at about 2.91 cents. If you can break out of that on price, I would expect that you go somewhere obviously above these highs and somewhere in this more overall fib range from top to bottom here. Anywhere from this sweet spot up here at about 6.76, 6.85, I'm sorry, what is that? That's actually at 7.1 cents, I'm sorry, to 9.7 cents. So 7.1 to 9.7, somewhere in that sweet spot, if not further. This thing does have a low enough market cap. You got an $8.9 million market cap. It is 1,000xable. A 1,000x for this coin would put it at $8 billion. Okay, that is possible. A 100x would be at $800 million. So a 100x is possible, more possible for sure than a 1,000x. But a 1,000x is even possible. Is $8 billion a lot of money? Hell yeah, it is. Is it an achievable market cap in the crypto space? Definitely. Absolutely it is. So even in one cycle. But the thing is, and I love to remind people with stuff like this, is whenever you have a coin like this, the odds are that, what did somebody just say? I'm sorry, I got distracted. Someone said short corn huskers. No offense to the corn huskers. I got friends that like the corn huskers. I don't watch college football. But anyways, I know that the Cornhuskers, I'm pretty sure, do more than just football, or is it? I don't know. Does college have different mascots for different sports teams? I would think they're all. Anyways, where was I? A 1,000x is possible with this thing. $8 billion is an achievable market cap, but again, I was saying that most cryptos aim to achieve a multi-billion-dollar market cap. There are thousands of them with that potential that are at below $10 million, but could achieve that. Is this going to be one of those thousands that does a 1,000x? The odds are not in your favor. Could it be a 100xable coin or a multi-100xable coin? Sure. And it mathematically is feasible for it to go to 1,000x from the current price. But that's why, man, with those kind of sick gains, you don't need to bet a lot of money. You could put $100 in this thing and let it do its thing over the bull market, and maybe it does great, maybe it does jack anything. It's no skin off your back if you lose, but it could be a nice payday if you win. But don't bet the bank on this, man. That would be my opinion on this. But do what you want. It's your money, after all. You can do what you want. You're big boys, big girls. I do think for the current time being that you might see some kind of a pullback. This is kind of an area that I would expect you to find resistance. But again, hold that 145 area. Hold that 145 area. Keep going. Don't stop. Really get above this high. And if you can do that, things will start to look bullish for this. If not, if you can't hold that 145 area, not only do you run the risk of having a 44 to a 51% drop, you also run the risk of forming new lows, which just because it's such a low market cap coin does not mean that you can't achieve new lows. It doesn't mean that you can't go to $1 million or hundreds of thousands of dollars in market cap. You can. It's a low cap coin. It doesn't take a lot to move it either way. So keep that in mind, guys. That's really all I have for you. Hold 1.45. Break above this high if you want it to be bullish. If you want it to be bearish, break 1.45, okay? And then we could see the sweet spot or potentially lower prices. But that's all I got. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to see more. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.